The marijuana business is on fire here in Nevada, but still has what many consider a dangerous flaw in the system.
And even as the culture of cannabis goes mainstream across the country, marijuana-related businesses still face a huge hurdle for legitimacy.
Now, at the federal level, cannabis is still considered an illegal substance, and therefore, most banks are not allowed to do business with those companies.
As it is today, cannabis companies are not allowed to use traditional banking services. So they have to operate in cash. They need to, all their transactions are in cash. They can't make deposits. They need to store their cash, and this creates pretty much a public hazard. There's been cases of robberies and even murders.
Police asking for your help to find 3 guys robbing this medical marijuana dispensary in Phoenix. They're seen holding workers at gunpoint.
Again tonight at 11 with that pot shop shootout.
Fernandez.
And I'm Crystal Cruz. Armed robbers hit a marijuana dispensary in Tarzana, setting off a standoff with police.
Behind a violent robbery at a marijuana store in Denver.
Now, what happened there is that female employee who was leaving actually ended up paying for this with her life.
Live. And Jason, these dispensaries, they're a cash business.
There's a perception that these are places where somebody could walk in and commit an armed robbery and walk away with a whole bunch of money.
In almost every dispensary you see an ATM machine because they don't accept debit or credit cards for purchase.
The robberies caused fear and uncertainty, but Bethany Moore argues they're a product of a bigger problem.
The root of the problem is that these dispensaries are being forced to deal in all cash.
New laws proposed in Washington aim to fix that. The Safe Banking Act would allow marijuana businesses access to banking. The National Cannabis Industry Association argues it would also make dispensaries safer.
That because of the current state of things, that cannabis stores are really a high-risk place for you to be.
These places literally deal with tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash because they're not allowed to take credit cards.
Several $100,000, I think, is the best way to answer the amount of cash that we deal with on a daily basis. Sometimes, though, it can be up into the millions.
We can't take credit cards, we can't take debit cards, we can't take checks. For about 1.5 years now, we've been 100% in cash.
This sweeping, that maybe you could do something smaller, like a banking bill, like something that's a little bit more expanded.
Banking bill deals with a small part of this, but not what needs to be done. We need a broad, comprehensive bill.
What's your prospects of getting Republicans on board with this?
I'm telling you right now, if somebody tries in the Senate to do just a banking bill, I don't know about other members of the Senate, but I will lay myself down to do everything I can to stop an easy banking bill.
There's the first suspect rushing in, putting a gun to the neck of an employee who was vacuuming before closing time.
I don't know about other members of the Senate, but I will lay myself down to do everything I can to stop an easy banking bill.
Second suspect sees a female employee trying to press a panic button on a lanyard around her neck, chases her into the back room.
But I will lay myself down to do everything I can to stop an easy banking bill.
Third suspect, wearing a UW backpack, is grabbing several $1,000s worth of cash out of the till.
But I will lay myself down.
Suspect wearing the UW jacket then drags the woman,
easy banking bill,
out into the front of the store and forces her to sit down on the floor.
But I will lay myself down.
These dispensaries, they're a cash business.
I don't know about other members of the Senate.
The Safe Banking Act would allow marijuana businesses access to banking.
I mean, how strong are you opposed to the Safe Banking Act? Since it does seem like it would support maybe all cannabis businesses.
Oh, first of all, don't get me wrong. I support the Safe Banking Act. I think it's a phenomenal bill. I'm one of these folks that
lay myself down.
And the ridiculousness of so many businesses having to operate in cash, it increases danger. Not to mention what you talked about, which is easing access to capital for a lot of folks. So please, I support this completely. But
I will lay myself down to do everything I can to stop.
It's a robbery standoff, and it's all happening out here in this business building out here on Ventura Boulevard. Now, it's a two-story building, has a lot of businesses inside of it.